Apollo, the archive of knowledge, what happened to that?
And Hephaestus, taking over Cyan.
Oh, that's cool. It actually...
This war. Maybe the answers lie.
Okay, so... Wow. Alright. So, I guess should have seen that coming, considering that our girl here is a clone. But... Man, so... The world died completely because they didn't have enough time to initiate shutdown codes for all the robots. And then... So they created an AI that did have enough time to shut down all the robots. So they killed all the... So all the robots got shut down. Gaia starts rebuilding everything, but something went wrong. Big time. Because... Like she said... Hades is trying to presumably kill humanity, at least right now, or at least just kill our main girl. Enough guts. Make your selection. You are now in possession of information regarding the true nature and purpose of Project Zero Dawn, classified far above top secret. As such, we regret to inform you cannot be allowed to leave this facility. There are 3 options available to you at this point. Please consider each carefully. Trained counselors are standing by to assist you make your choice. Participation. You will be assigned to a sub-project team based on your area of expertise. You should be aware that this way forward will be difficult and the project's outcome is uncertain. You will be expected to work a minimum of 80 hours per week. Whew! And your communications with family members will be strictly limited and monitored in real time. Upon successful completion of the project, you and your immediate family, or 2 persons of your choosing, will be transferred to the Elysium sealed habitat to live out the remainder of your natural lives. Indefinite detention. So should you choose to decline participation in Project Zero Dawn, you will be confined indefinitely. You will be given 48 hours to reconsider, at which point your decision to refuse participation will be considered irrevocable. Every reasonable effort will be made to make your term of confinement as comfortable as possible, but you will not be permitted contact with the outside world, and death within 18 months due to the Pharaoh Plague is inevitable. When the Zero Dawn facility is abandoned, detainees who wish not to offer medical euthanasia will be released. Okay, we'll let the robots have you if you don't want us to kill you. The information you have just received understandably calls into question the purpose of continuing to live. If you would prefer to end your life at this point, pain-free medical euthanasia is available. A 48-hour waiting period is required, during which time you may instead opt for participation or confinement. Wow. Wow. I mean, I guess it was nice of them that they at least gave them the option to basically choose to die if they didn't want to deal with all this, instead of just locking them up. It is vitally important that candidates choose to participate in Project Zero Dawn voluntarily and knowingly, without additional coercion and without value judgment on part of the counselor. Confirm for candidates they were selected due to their skill set accomplishments. Emphasize that their dedicated participation in Zero Dawn will increase the project's chance of success. Frame participation in Zero Dawn as an opportunity to respond actively in the face of overwhelming threat. Candidates may question the fairness of their selection. Validate such objections as normal, even admirable responses. Emphasize the value of candidates' expertise to the future, not just of humanity, but terrestrial life as a whole. Likewise, candidates may balk at the morality of extending their lifespans and those of loved ones beyond... Weird. 0 day. Validate their hesitation. Acknowledge that while the reward of Elysium is not fair, it will be earned. If possible, redirect their ethical misgivings towards greater commitment to the project. When candidates challenge the plausibility of Project Zero Dawn, permit them to review Dr. Sobek's presentation as many times as they wish and allow access to supplemental articles G01 through P20. Allow them to suspend the interview to fully process this documentation. A significant minority of the candidates will elect for medical euthanasia. It is important to receive this decision kindly without judgment. Advise them of the 48-hour waiting period during which the counselors will be able to discuss their decision. Emphasize that euthanasia will not occur without repeated consent, and the procedure is scheduled to take place. No one will be euthanized against his or her will. If they want to be... Okay. Yeah, I mean... Elysium... I wonder what Elysium is like. I wonder if we'll get to find Elysium. Brad Andrew.
Of course I'll do it. To be given the opportunity.
Oh yeah, this is the guy that made Pharaoh robots.
The damage? Did I? Well, I don't feel worthy of it, but I will do it, absolutely.
I want to stress that this was never about your culpability.
It is to me. Dr. Sotek, Margot,
Alert.
they were smart to get out of Pharaoh when they did, but not one of us took it as a warning sign. It just told ourselves they weren't cut out for the BTRI cabals. That's the better than rapid innovation. A better at competing, better than the next guy, a better killing machine. It's just amazing how a century and a half of science fiction did nothing to swerve our species from the path of doom. I mean, I'm done with that life. I mean, I will work hard, twice as hard to earn this, for my family to have a place in Elysium. I never thought that there could be, atonement.
Okay, so Brad's 100% on board. I don't think the other two are going to be as happy, or some of the others are going to be as happy.
If you're still nauseous.
No, the
Nauseous?
inhibitors have kicked in. I can't feel the back of my tongue. I wish I could tell you I'd believe in this, but the damage is too great, too extensive.
So much
too
lore,
complete.
yeah.
With all respect to Dr. Sobek's work at Miriam, no. No, life doesn't always find a way to keep going. Sometimes it never comes back. Like Syzygy East. Like the Congo. Like Timor. Like us. That's our reward? A buried city full of terminal patients waiting out the clock?
You grow old together, with your loved ones, in safety.
I don't have loved ones. I suppose I could start a family?
I'm afraid not. All inhabitants of Elysium will be medically sterilized. A habitat capable of sustaining a starting base of 2,000 individuals for up to 100 years is a huge challenge, Dr. Alpert. If the population grows instead of diminishes, everyone will be dead inside 30 years.
I knew it. I just couldn't bring myself to say the words.
I'm sorry.
Finish it. Medical euthanasia. I want no part of this. I just want it over.
I see. Protocols require a 48-hour waiting period, after which...
Ron.
Is he to make sure I behave this time?
Security, for your protection. Would you like to discuss how you're feeling?
Sure. I'll tell you. Surprised. No, flabbergasted. Like my own man would say, flabbergasted. That vein pumping in his forehead. I thought you people were just completely underprepared for a spaceflight project. But now I can see it's worse. Much worse. Sobek is a total fantasist, a dangerous fantasist. He's kind of blue skying. It's... Jesus. I'm sorry we wasted each other's time. I'm ready to leave now.
I'm afraid that's not possible.
Everything you're talking about here isn't possible.
I recommend you read the documents regarding your options.
I've seen enough. I'm getting out of here. What are you... You don't... Get your hands off me!
Okay, so the, stranded shackles? What? Huh. Oh, okay. I know what that is. I think we've got everything in here, so it's on to the next area. Yeah, I feel the worst for Ron. Poor Ron just wanted to be left alone. I wonder if he ended up going for indefinite detention or eventually agreed to work with them.
Intruder! Get her!
Whatever you do, don't die now.
Yo, I am not in the mood for y'all's BS. I'm in a lore mood and you're interrupting it.
I've done this before. My cards are just need my focus.
Yeah, your fireworks is cute. on a mission. Oh, Travis.
Now, those lame FBI black hats at Mockingbird back in the day, I enjoyed schooling them. But maybe I went in too hard on this poor counselor. She was cute, and just going down a checklist after all. Couldn't expect her to see how ridiculous Zero D's ambitions are. God's own budget thrown at a kid playing with a hologram sculptor? Palms up, honey. I'm just calling it like it is. Hey, look, Mom, I'm making nature. Now, if nature is so important, why not let nature take its course? Extinction? That's natural. Zero Dawn? No, ma'am, that ain't. Heck, it's so unnatural it'd be called an abomination back home, and you know it. That's why
Abomination.
you're hiding it. Meanwhile, my little honey of a counselor, she's munching the inside of her cheek. Bad habit. She chewed one of her nails, too, just one. Not your day, was it, little sweet pea? Saw her quota slipping away. Said, I assume you intend to decline the assignment, Mr. Tate. You kidding me? 18 months hard labor in exchange for 30 years lounging around Elysium watching porn? Sign me up.
Wow. Wow. But porn.
Zero Dawn.
That's
It is
that's one way to look
art
at
in
it.
a way. An expression on the grandest scale. But there is so much unfairness. Why was I chosen? Was it decided by committee? By algorithm? My family will be saved because I happen to graduate in art history?
Art
Is this
history?
right?
Dr. Soubet? Christina Soubet?
Yes. I met a man, another historian. His fields are Bauhaus and the New Materialists. But he once attended one of my talks. Another unfair chance. Of all the many people in that auditorium, that we should both be here now. And yet, I feel more accepting of my fate. No, it is not fair. Not at all. But for the sake of my family, for the sake of art. Art is alive. It must be able to speak from beyond history and echo in the future, not perish into oblivion. This opportunity, I must do this.
Hey, do y'all think if the world was ending and they were needing to like get people together to preserve stuff, they'd call me for Warhammer? that would be good enough, right? I'd be
I hashed it
important.
out with them. What the point of
I'd be
Artemis
so dead.
was. I made it clear I wasn't on board for a global zoo. We haven't exactly proved ourselves to be great custodians in the past few thousand years. So the idea of a
Who's the Australian?
reconstituted biosphere, well, it's horrifying, isn't it? A complete horror show. We have no right to take a best guess at this stuff. But the alternative? Nothingness. For there to have been all this and then nothing. And with Charles Ronson running the show, I respect him. He's got a passion to it. He's hot-blooded. So I said I'll do it. I'll put my all into this, literally. When the project is done, I'll take the medical option, thank you.
Wow.
Counselor said I might change my mind. I told him that he didn't know me very well then. For life's sake, I'll do the dirty work. But I want no part of this pathetic attenuated future on offer. I'm an outdoors man.
Man, you gotta give
Never
gotta
did
give
like
props
the
to
feel of
Tom,
solid
dude.
state lighting on my skin. And a wee bit of a claustrophobe anyway.
Chloe, I don't like all the end of the world stuff. Yeah, no, it's the idea that she wouldn't be able to just lounge around for however many years. Let me go check. Someone ring the doorbell. It's probably just a package, but let me go get it so it's not just sitting outside. One sec, guys. One sec. Quick break. Ugh. What is it, Chloe? There we go. More lore.
Here we go. Another one of these. There's a part missing. Maybe there's a storage
Hey.
area nearby.
I'm done with Brett's incompetence, okay? Somehow, he managed to install an H-emitter node backwards. Everything's in reverse. I don't get paid to clean up Brett's messes. If you want it fixed, send him up to storage for a new emitter, not me. Parker out.
Okay.
Hey,
Oh, that's
I'm
what that
done
is.
with Brett's incompetence, okay? Somehow, he managed to install an H-emitter node backwards. Everything's in reverse. I don't get paid to clean up Brett's messes. If you want it fixed, send him up to storage for a new emitter, not me. Parker out.
Okay, we gotta get up to storage. How do I... No? Maybe if I... Maybe if we do this one, then it'll let us through. If y'all listen really closely, you might hear Chloe make I think the male guy's out there fixing something or
I
working on
should check
something.
the door nearby.
Chloe's just growling, even though, you know, there's no way he can hear her. But she's like, my displeasure. Someone note my displeasure. There's someone in viewing distance of my sleep spot. This is heresy. Where is this? Ah.
Found one. Looks intact.
Man, thank God this technology that's been sitting around in a presumably moist environment because of all this stuff for hundreds, if not thousands of years, it works.
That should do the trick. Now let's get that door open.
Okay. Oh, no, but wait. Okay, so this no, this one's backwards. Maybe it's upside down? Okay, so if it's upside down, then it should be down. Oh, this one's facing the wrong way.
That did it. Door should have power.
Now to see what lies beyond it.
Oh, hello.
Eclipse. They're here.
Avoid contact.
Lines look good.
Gaia. It's up there. Second floor.
Can you reach it?
So much for avoiding contact.
Bro, I got bombs. I'll be fine. I like how the game's like, you're gonna need to be careful here, and I'm like, yeah, I'm next level, so I'm just gonna... Anybody else? Well, aren't y'all cute? Coming down on your little wires. If y'all were machines, I'd fight more fair because it makes it a little more exciting, but you know, you're just dudes.
Shadow guide me!
Uh-huh.
That's the last of it.
Cool story.
H1 structural failure. Repeat.
Or not.
But there's more of them?
Area inaccessible. Elevators not up.
Ooh, I like your gun. Give it to me.
Bleed for the shadow.
Room's clear. For a moment, anyway.
Then get moving. You have to find Gaia.
Oh, that was fun. Okay. Real quick, let's look around for any logs.
Alert. Structural failure prevents access.
Like just this way. Oh wait, no, I came from this way.
Hello, I'm Margot Shen, and this is Hephaestus. As the name might tip you off, this is going to be the subordinate function that Gaia will use to make lots
This
and
is
lots of robots.
Hephaestus?
Her personal
This is
forge.
the guy we just fought?
Except, it's not that simple. So like, you probably noticed
You
that
like-
only about a third of you are robotics engineers. The rest, experts in machine cognition, virtual heuristics, that stuff. Well, that's because we aren't going to be the ones designing and building robots. The last thing we want is to burden Gaia with a bunch of outmoded 21st century designs. Waste of time. Our purpose is to empower Gaia to build the robots, and not just build, imagine, from scratch. Any robot she needs for any conceivable purpose, designed and fabricated at a snap of a finger. Hers. Her finger. So, Hephaestus isn't really the forge. It's more like the knowledge of craft and ingenuity of a mastersmith to wield the hammer. Encoded as software. Virtual creativity made real. Gaia's already learning. In simulation, she's doing some very creative things with fractal assembly and animal morphologies. Her designs aren't about to win the Liam Prize anytime soon, but hey, everyone has to start somewhere. So, yes, time to get started. Let's do this.
So, Hephaestus...
Get it. If Hephaestus was part of a system designed to save life, why would it use cyan to make a cauldron? And churn out machines with no other purpose than to kill people?
Somehow it's gone rogue.
Hephaestus wasn't even intended as like
Whatever
an
the reason, it
actual...
explains why machines have become more.
It was intended as like a part of Gaia. And yet it's gone rogue. Man, I'm actually really glad we did the DLC before this part, because we're getting a lot of DLC dialogue. From Margot Shin to Elizabeth Sotek. Wow, you weren't kidding about Gaia's predilection for animal morphology. Sure, not totally unexpected given the rough natural terrain her bots would have to navigate, but I agree there's something deeper going on here. Her designs aren't just functional, they feel almost like, well, tributes is the word that comes to mind, as though she's already mourning their loss, and not just for the disappearing fauna of our time, but creatures from the fossil record too. References to megafauna in some of her designs, so cool. Well, whatever Gaia thinks up, Hephaestus will empower her to build it. I just wish we could still be around a century or two to see what she makes. Full steam ahead. Margot, if I doubted your brilliance in the slightest, I wouldn't have picked you as the Hephaestus Alpha. You need to stop worrying about your age and communication style. You are who you are. Have confidence in yourself, you know what you're doing. Case in point, the latest draft of your plan for the Constitution stocking of bootstrap silos to store raw materials is excellent. This combined with your design for the AM Foundry core and the Foundry site selection plan add up to a comprehensive plan. It's time to start construction. One detail, consult with Ayomidi Akilo before you finalize the silo inventories. Hephaestus' first task will be to fabricate the robots that will construct the waveform broadcast towers Minerva will use to transmit the deactivation codes. So any exotic materials needed for the tower should be accounted for in the inventory plan. Yeah, well, the thing that I really like about the DLC is I could see that you could do it in any order, and it would have been really interesting. Like, if you knew all of this lore already, like, you knew everything about Hephaestus, then when you got in there and met Hephaestus, I'm sure people were like, oh shit, it's Hephaestus! But for me, it's really, really interesting going this way, because we're kind of just figuring out a lot as we go. Can't scan it from this side, apparently.
I think this is it. Elizabeth Sobek's office. More Eclipse.
Careful now.
Nah. I've got grenades in the slingshot. I don't need to be careful.
Welcome to Apollo, the collective memory of the human species and the wellspring of knowledge for future generations.
Apollo.
I am Samina Ebaji. Until recently, I was director of the International Collective Memory Institute in New Tehran. As a heritage professional, I devoted my career to the preservation of human knowledge, creative endeavor, and cultural achievement. Apollo is, therefore, the ultimate embodiment of a lifelong passion, albeit under the very worst circumstances imaginable. The challenges before us are immense. Specifically, we will have to design and implement 4 major initiatives simultaneously. First, the construction of data repositories in cradle facilities around the world, ensuring redundancy. Second,
Cradles.
the collection and processing of a projected 180 million discrete data entries. 42 zettabytes of data in Mandarin, English, Spanish, and Arabic. Third, the transferal and encoding of all that data onto DNA encapsulated in synthetic fossils. The only medium capacious and durable enough to safeguard it without degradation for the centuries to come. And last, but not least, the development of the holographic interface and gamified curricula, by which future humans will commune with Apollo, progressively unlocking heuristic learning modules, leveling up their knowledge and skills they will need to take control of the terraforming
We need to make
system.
a video game!
That is the future towards which all of our efforts will be directed. Not just the preservation of the past, but the seed for the flourishing of a new tree of knowledge. Welcome, and let us begin.
Elizabeth Sobek. The winner is encapsulated DNA. Over the past 10 days, performed an exhaustive review of data storage solutions, magnetic, optical, quantum. Even that eternity tech that fast was shilling a year or so ago. But every other solution has one or more fatal shortcomings. Too heavy to transport, too massive to install in the allotted space, too power intensive over the centuries, too prone to failure past 300, 400 years, etc. Encapsulated DNA will easily hold the 40 plus zettabytes we're projecting for Apollo. There's still many details to finalize, of course. To start with, we need to select the inert material in which we'll embed the molecules, already testing 16 candidate materials, as well as design and fabricate the power systems and sealed reliquaries that will keep the DNA at minus 18 degrees Celsius for 1,000 plus years. So long as I assure you that it didn't factor into my decision, may I confess that I deem it entirely fitting, indeed propitious, that we will be using the very building blocks of life to preserve human knowledge from mechanized extinction. It's not just ironic, but heroic. Life as the hero beating back the forces of oblivion. Oh, man. Apollo update?